This, it's pitch black, the smoke is stifling, and the fire is getting closer. Do you know what to do? If fire threatens you or threatens your family, would you be prepared if that were to happen in your home?
Pretty scary. And for this year's Fire Prevention Week, we sent WFMZ's Melissa Batulis into a burning building to show you what you and your family might face inside the fire.
The only word is intense.
1,450 degrees.
That's where we're headed today. But unlike most people who find themselves in a house fire, I have the luxury of being prepared.
It's getting warm already.
Reading Fire Marshal Todd Yeager is my guide into the Berks County Fire Training Center's burn building. But before ignition, there's orientation. Again, there are more advantages in this scenario.
Building's not going to fall down. Building's not going to burn down.
But what they can simulate is dangerously close to the real thing.
It's real dark, real smoky, real hot. Kind of gets a little freaky.
On our first trip in, we leave our oxygen masks behind.
See the fire start to progress?
Within seconds, it spreads to the ceiling and moves across the room. But even more stifling is the layer of smoke that gradually pushes us closer to the floor.
If you take a look up, look at the ceiling, the smoke level above you.
It's not long before that smoke forces us to crawl to the nearest exit. But next time, we're gearing up to stay until the end.
This is the scary part.
Back inside and settled in a corner, we watch as the flames grow and get closer. This time, the room we're in is meant to duplicate an upstairs bedroom. Keep in mind, the fire moves this fast even without all of the comforts of home to fuel the flames.
Now, look at your rollover.
With windows closed, black smoke starts at the ceiling and quickly moves toward us on the floor.
I can tell you right now, like, I'm losing my visibility, and I don't think I can get myself back out of here.
Even down low, temperatures get near 500 degrees before Reading's firefighters in training extinguish the flames.
Time is so critical because you've got to be able to be alerted to the fire at an early point, because at some point you may have to pass that fire to an escape route.
Experts recommend an interconnected smoke detector system in your home for that early alert. You should also practice your family's escape plan at least twice a year. And Fire Marshal Yeager warns that his biggest battle is always fighting apathy.
Folks, we're not just alarmists. We're here to say to you, this stuff is real. It happens every day. How do we know? Because we're the folks that have to get called to this every day.
Melissa Batulis, 69 News, Berks Edition.
In other news tonight, this is Fire Prevention Week, and Melissa actually has been busy working on a very interesting story for Fire Prevention Week. She is taking you inside a fire to show you what you would face in a fire, but she's also taking along some of Reading's city officials to see how what they learn can help prevent you and your family from ever being in that situation.
We saw the flames firsthand.
I don't think I can get myself back out of here.
Then from City Hall to the Berks County Fire Training Center's burn building. Some of Reading's officials took their turn facing the fire.
Walk into our world.
It's a whole different perspective of what you could imagine.
Heading in this time, Michelle Mayfield, Assistant City Solicitor, Building Inspector Stephen Dunkel, and Andrew Miller from the city's planning office.
Just stay nice and calm. Everything's fine. Your air pack's going to work. Your gear's going to work.
Inside, a flight of stairs creates the obstacle of a chimney effect.
All of the heat from that fire is going to be coming up through the basement steps, and it's a very rapid process to get people down those steps.
And once the flames ignite, that pathway heats up fast.
Heck, if you put a chicken or a roast in the oven, you're putting it at 350 for a couple hours. You just crawled through probably twice that heat.
I don't know how to expect that kind of heat. Been next to a lot of campfires, but it's a little different when it's contained.
I'm also a mother, and it brings new fear.
But beyond the wow, there are worthy lessons to be learned. Fire officials hope this new perspective will help fuel fire prevention from other directions.
Now I kind of have a perspective as to why this building needs to come down, the damage that would be involved.
Looking at it from their vantage point and how buildings need access to them and how they need to be able to drive large fire apparatus around places that aren't necessarily paved.
But there are other obstacles to overcome.
When they're doing the home improvement projects, they're not really taking into consideration the fire, the detection. They're taking into consideration all the great renovations they're going to have and not putting back a little bit of a plan of what they're going to use, how they're going to use it.
And unlike the fast-moving flames, the wheels of change tend to turn slowly, but they may have some added momentum.
The experience in general makes you just want to preach a little more about fire safety, fire prevention.
The more safer buildings that I can get, or the more unsafe buildings I can get removed via the code, that's paramount to our guys' survival too.
Melissa Batulis, 69 News, Berks Edition.